I almost moved to Mexico, and here is why. So I've always worked in San Diego, California, which borders Mexico. So I worked with a lot of Mexicans. I married one, shit. And there are some guys who live in Mexico, only in Mexico, and they travel across the border every single day. But what a lot of them do is they have a house with their family in Mexico, and they'll rent out some kind of apartment with like a bunch of their buddies or whatever, or they'll just have two houses, one in Mexico, one in America. And when you're young, you're working as hard as you can to make ends meet. And especially if you're married, then if your wife doesn't work, you gotta support a family. So you're working as much as possible, and rent just keeps going up and up. Bills keep going up and up, and your pay does go up, but not as fast as everything else. And all my coworkers who lived in Mexico made the same amount as me or maybe a little bit more. But they'd always have like new vehicles, or they'd be buying new stuff. Meanwhile, I'm barely saving anything. I can barely afford rent. And I'm wondering, how the hell can you afford this? Well, because they live in Mexico. And I was asking them, how much do you pay for rent? And they told me like, oh, $500. Back then they said it was $500. I don't know how much it is now, but back then $500 would get you a like 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, not apartment, a house in a gated community. And I was just like blown away when I saw that. Again, I don't know how it is now, but this was back in like 2012, 2013. And I was paying like $1,000 for like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So I talked to my wife. I said, hey, this seems like a great idea. We moved to Mexico. It'll be cheaper. Everything is cheaper in Mexico. Why don't we just do that? We'll save a bunch of money, and then we can save it to buy a house. And the only reason I didn't is because I realized not only is it going to restrict the amount of distance I can travel for work, but it's also going to take so much time out of my day, and I'm going to miss a lot of that on family time.